Knicks by 1 at 91-90. Celtics not using the timeout. Tatum across midcourt with 10. Tatum behind the Horford screen. Crossover, foul line with 4. Left block, step back, stolen by Bridges. Another great defensive play for the Knicks. They've got it. They've won it.
Yeah.
What a scene outside Madison Square Garden last night. Janae, it was a little party on Broadway.
That's not a party. That's a rave.
I mean, for good reason.
It's a riot.
This was a comeback
Yep.
for the ages. Fans taken to the streets, understandably so. The Boston Celtics, they led by as many as 20 in last night's game too. So you got your lab coats.
Yes.
You got your gloves on. We need to examine the anatomy of a comeback here because it takes the first ingredient. It is a star role player punching above their weight. Enter Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
That is exactly what he did here in the fourth quarter, Chiney. He had 0 points, 0 of 8 coming into the frame.
I love this because the biggest criticism of Coach Thibodeau, was that, all right, we don't rest our guys. He was resting his stars and Brunson, and what did he do? You know, being cold going into this moment, that shows you the confidence of this guy, Mikal Bridges. And once he sees one going, he just explodes.
Yep. I mean, the professionalism from him of staying locked in mentally, that's the hardest part as a pro. And when you don't have it going for 3 quarters, but in that fourth quarter saying, all I need is see one go in and continue that, that streak, that's all he needed.
And I would like to say it's fair to say that he has a side of a court, a spot.
He had 14 points in the quarter. Here's Bridges on that fourth.
Everything to my teammates, man. They helped me up, throughout the whole, me missing every shot, until that point. And it's really, truly them, them just holding me together and keep me mentally right and just telling me to keep going. And I think Coach also just trusted me, coming out the fourth, running to play for me and just putting that confidence in me. But, man, it's really my teammates and my coaches, man. They really, they really helped me up.
All right, so that's the first part of the anatomy of a comeback. It takes a star role player stepping up. It also takes a team that started off hot going cold. Kendrick Perkins, I mean ice cold. Kendrick Perkins, I mean the polar plunge level of cold. That's what the Boston Celtics did from three-point range as we head back to TD Garden to see exactly the way that it looked here. The Celtics, they were 15 of 60, 25% shooting perk on three-pointers in game 1.
And they just kept shooting. I mean, look, but a great job by the Knicks. They're taking away the driving gaps. They're loading up the paint. That's what the Tom Thibodeau team is going to do right here. I mean, this is Peyton Pritchard's shot. But look, OG Anunoby just making the second effort right there, going to contest that shot was huge. But at what point do you attack the basket? But you can't get more wide open than this.
No
right?
defender in sight here. And so far in the series, Perk, Boston has only shot 25% on wide open threes. They were expected to make 41% of those according to Genius IQ. Horrendous, right? That's just the word for this. Shooting wise in the fourth quarter, they made just 5 of 24 shots and 2 of 11 3-pointers. 2 of their 3 worst shooting fourth quarters have now come in these last 2 games against the Knicks, which leads us to part 3 of our science project, friends. How to close a game and seal a comeback. It takes a Brunson burner. And that is what we saw, Shanae.
Yeah, I mean, look, this was not his biggest performing night, but that shot said, hello, I won the award for a reason. Yes, you can droop your head.
Stepped up when it counted. That's when they needed him. Mr. Clutch Player of the Year for a reason.
And then right here, check how much time is left in the shot clock when Jaylen Brown takes that shot.
Yeah, and now you're setting up Brunson with a shorter court, having the advantage again. This is a guy that he knows his shot was not necessarily falling. He found ways to get contact, be physical. That's why Perk calls him Big
Use
Body
the right hand, too.
But right here, Jayson Tatum, a perfectly executed ATO.
It was elegant. The force switch, and then, of course, getting the highest percentage of shots.
So Boston up 1, but who do you call? Jalen Brunson. Watch right here. Drew Holiday. He is one of the best defenders in the league. You were talking about discipline.
Yeah, he normally gets those steals in the past. Not against Jalen Brunson, you're not.
And this is the second made free throw to put the New York Knicks up 1. Here's the thing. The Boston Celtics, they have a timeout. Joe Mazzulla, why didn't you take it?
I had one left, got a good look on the exact same play 20 seconds earlier, tried to execute the exact same thing.
So they didn't take it? And here's the last chance here for the Boston Celtics.
Yep.
Jayson Tatum, he's the guy you want to have it. Sinead, you were talking about how difficult this is to force him to that side.
Yeah, it is extremely difficult, but guess what? That's what the Knicks do. They win the game not just by points, but also defensively, back-to-back, heart and hustle.
Heart, hustle, and Mikal Bridges with the steal. It's the New York Knicks that take a series lead 2 games to 1.
All right, you guys, when you think about the Boston Celtics losing the lead twice, making history, 20 points up does not matter. It was wild. The Celtics led by 16 with 8.5 minutes left, and that's when things truly fell apart for the defending champs. I mean, let's break down these final 2 plays because I love the first one, which is why they went to it again. This is why I love it. Out of timeout, I said it was elegant. You force a switch. It's 30 feet away from the basket. Now you have the post player on their heels. Mitchell Robinson. At this point, it was almost barbecue chicken because he was stuttering, going backwards. And I love this. In 2 games, they were settling for threes. They didn't find threes. They knocked it down. Jayson Tatum with the dunk.
Unfortunately, for the last play, the opposite of elegant. They didn't get the same matchup or the same mismatch. They started with OG. You know, OG had a better pickup point the second possession in that fourth quarter. As you see right here, the percentages of Jayson Tatum, his shooting woes, and the Celtics. But in the second clip here, as you can see, OG Onyewu picks up a 3-point line. Knowing he's not Steph Curry or Damian Lillard, he's not going to shoot from back here. So now that shrinks the floor for your big man to get out and play, you know, a little bit more better defense. Mitchell Robinson does a great job switching. You get the switch.
Impressive.
Al Horford's got to get out of there. You got to give him space. And Jayson Tatum losing that ball changed the whole trajectory of that play because he couldn't get by Mitchell Robinson. Now he's got 3 guys contesting the shot. Tries to make a last play pass, bad decision. This was a terrible, terrible last possession of the game for the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, and if you think about it, it's KYP. We see that with scouting reports. Know your personnel, but also for your teams to be able to make adjustments on the fly.
And you know what? I thought when they were up by 16 with 8.5 left, I thought I could go line dancing. I thought it was a wrap. I thought maybe, you could go to bed early. Exactly, you could watch a TV show. No. New York outscored Boston 23-6 the rest of the game. The Celtics, they missed 13 of their final 14 shots. They clanked their final 7 3-point attempts. Now, moments ago, Jayson Tatum, he spoke about the end of the game.
I take full ownership on the way that I've played in this series. And, you know, just can't sugarcoat anything. I need to be better. And, you know, I expect to be a lot better.
All right, so he's taking responsibility, Perk, for the way that the end of the game went here. What do you think is the biggest problem right now facing the Boston Celtics, and can they overcome it?
Well, the biggest problem is them not getting to the free throw line. And I'm talking about Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but particularly Jayson Tatum, right? When you're great and you're a guy that's striving for greatness, all the greats that I played with, when their shots are not falling, they get to the free throw line. You find a way to put pressure on the opponent and the referees to get to the line. And I think right now, it's all about the mental toughness with Jayson Tatum. I believe he's in his own head, right? You see the last second, the shot that he had to tie the game or to take the lead or whatever, and we watch him. He wasn't confident, right? He didn't have the swag like a Tyrese Halliburton. And so if I'm Tatum, if my 3-point shot is not falling, if my mid-range is not falling, I got to put my head down and attack the basket. That's my biggest takeaway.
Perk, to me, it's not the free throws. It's the idea that over a stretch, the crucial stretch of this game, it was feast or famine.
Right.
They went 8 minutes, the final 8 minutes of the game, with only 1 field goal. When you're a championship team, you have to find different ways to win. Now, that includes free throws. That includes, you know, a lot of people say analytics. I tweeted it yesterday. We might be witnessing the end of extreme analytics where you keep shooting threes when you actually have guys that are excellent in the mid-range. If you think about the matchups, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, you have Hart in front of you. You have Brunson in front of you. I'm not mad if you don't get to the rim. Just shoot over those guys. We watched many games where so many players, even Karl Anthony Towns, did you guys see the mismatches? He turned around and just shot over guys.
Yeah.
I think that, to me, was the issue. They couldn't find a way to put the ball in the basket multiple times down the stretch.
I'm with Perk here, too. Jayson, I think, had 2 free throws for the game. But end of the day, there's not just Jayson and Jaylen that has to score, but they can create a basket. These guys are too good and too deep of a team to not have a field goal within 7 or 8 minutes. You can't go that long of a stretch. Find your way to get to the free throw line. But down the stretch, I also saw a lot of hero ball.
Right.
Not just on offense, but defense. You know, Drew Holiday, very disciplined defender. You don't usually gamble for that type of steal. But on offense, I saw too many fadeaway jumpers from the turnaround from Jayson Tatum, from Jaylen Brown. Early in the shot clock, trying to bully ball Jalen Brunson. just bad shot after bad shot, and then get good possessions at the end of the game.
Are you trying to say that like they try to make too many sexy plays?
Just too much
They're
hero
trying
ball.
to
Usually
bring
they trust each
sexy
other. I'm
back.
okay with missed
Go
threes,
ahead,
but
Perk.
find each other, drop kick, and get open shots. The
well,
last 2 minutes, they just shot too many fadeaway jumpers over
Right.
bodies.
Yeah.
Well, you got to credit the New York Knicks too. And by the way, that searching out big body Brunson at the end in these 4 quarters, that hasn't been working.
Yeah.
Like he's been defending his behind off. So they might want to go to something else. I would love to see what a 2-man game look like with Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum. Can we see that one time? I wonder if you could use Jayson Tatum as a screener and roll into the basket. Like, can we see some of that action at times? I'm just asking. Here's another thing. Shanae, Danny, especially you, Shanae. Me and Danny were role players, okay? But Shanae, as the go-to guy, right, go-to girl on the squad, and at any time when you felt like breaking the play, the offensive set, you did it.
Yes.
Was the coach going to take you out?
No.
No. So my thing is that I understand the system is shoot a whole bunch of threes, but JT, JB, Joe Mazzulla is not going to bench you if you decide to do something else, or you see something else, or you want to attack the lane.
I think what makes this a little bit, if you want to look glass half full, but it's also a little bit concerning here for the Boston Celtics. They've led all but 12 minutes of these last 2 games. So that is one way where you're saying, okay, they were an incredible road team during the regular season, 33-8 on the road, the best record in the NBA this year. You can find some sort of solace in that, but they've been leading the whole way and just haven't executed down the stretch.
They gave the wrong, and I said this yesterday, not team, but city life.
Yeah.
Like, this is the biggest game to hit New York, apart from like the WNBA Finals, okay?
Yeah.
In a very, very
Right?
long time.
And now the New York Knicks, they're feeling themselves. They're feeling pretty good. Maybe no one more so than Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson at the podium.
It's all about just focusing, having a clear mind, and just trying to win the game. That's just my mindset.
I thought you were tweeting, so I kept refreshing.
Oh no, I was trying to order some Uber Eats.
You guys both talked before that.
You guys have been part of a national championship.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
No, sorry.
No, I'm saying him.
My fault.
I got one.
He's been part of one.
I got one. That's all
I've
that
been part
matters.
of 2.
What's your favorite team? Comment below, and if you like the video, please leave a like. This really helps the channel grow and brings you even more content. Oh, and if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and activate the bell to receive all notifications. With each game, we notice that the NBA is getting more competitive every day, and all the teams are looking for reinforcements to win the championship. And only here can you follow your favorite team daily with incredible content from different sources. Here on the channel, there are new videos every day with analysis, curiosities, and the best moments in basketball. That's it for today, folks. Thanks for following along. The NBA doesn't stop, and neither do we. Until the next video. NBA, the passion that connects us.